All right, good morning, agents. This is Kevin Lauren. I'm the Director of Training and Marketing here at Alta Realty Group. And today we're going to be joined by DJ Bibb from Fidelity, and he's going to go through Proposition 19, which is very, very poignant since we've had all the devastating wildfires. But before we get into today's presentation, I'm going to bring Bill Seitz, the corporate broker for Alta Realty Group, on the line. Good morning, Bill. How are you today?
Good morning, Kevin. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday to all.
Yeah, I hope everyone's having a good start or middle to their week. What do they call this? Hump day? So, yeah, a couple things before we get started. Once again, for those that are new to our trainings, my name is Bill Seitz. I am the corporate broker here at Alta Realty Group. And so Wednesdays are our kind of our company meeting, training, everything Alta every Wednesday, 9 o'clock. We're here to help you understand what's going on at the company, get some marketing tips, or, for example, today to learn something new about with our title partner, Fidelity, DJ Bibb, and he's going to run through Prop 19 today?
Yes, very important.
Okay. Yeah, and before we get started, we have some new agents that have joined Alta, so I just want to recognize them and welcome them aboard. We've got Layla Wong, Henry Berliner, Irina Alexander, Bonnie Rodriguez, Gloria Cruz, and Malena Chang. So if you guys are hopefully on the training, welcome to Alta. We're really happy to have you guys. Hope that you guys find our Wednesday meetings productive and informative.
Absolutely.
And before we get, we have Raquel say a couple quick words. Also just wanted to, hopefully everyone got the Broker Tuesday tip yesterday. And since I've been doing endless continuing education for my renewal, I'm sure many of you have had to do your renewal over the last couple of years. I had finally caught up with me. I had to do mine. Not only did I have to do my lending license renewal, I had to do my broker's license renewal and the NAR ethics renewal. So I have been 60 hours deep in the last month of continuing education. That being said, what's that?
The trifecta.
Oh my gosh. Talk about overtime. But in that, the fiduciary duty obviously comes up a lot in what we do. And I wanted to basically put that out there and let everyone read that because it's super important of the expectation of us as real estate agents. And we're held to a very high standard. Just like an attorney or anybody that has a fiduciary duty to their client, their principal. And where I think sometimes agents can maybe possibly make a mistake is when they try to represent both sides to a transaction. Maybe you get the listing and initially your fiduciary duty is to your seller and seller only because that's your client. That's the person you're representing. That's the person you're preparing their home for sale, getting disclosures. But sometimes we find buyers come into the equation and they don't want to use a buyer's agent, and they want to use you as the listing agent as their representative as well. And that's a really fine line of balance of that fiduciary duty that you have. One, because it started with the seller, right? That was your initial obligation is to care for the seller's needs. But now you're bringing in the buyer into the equation, and now you have the same responsibility for the buyer. And it's very important to understand how that, that can't be misconstrued or misperceived by either side, because then they're going to presume there's a conflict of interest or favorability going to one principal or the other. So super important just to remember that. Just because maybe you took the listing before you brought the buyer into the equation doesn't mean the buyer doesn't get equal fair treatment in that equation. And I've seen a couple agents have struggled with that sometimes, where they're representing both parties. And, sometimes I have to kind of like mention this stuff because you don't want to get yourself in trouble or have one party potentially, file a complaint with you because they perceive that you're treating one side, more favorably than the other. So that was the broker tip that went out yesterday. So hope everybody kind of gets freshened up on that. And then lastly, we spoke to Abidon, our CFO, and the 1099s are going out. I think we sent out a message, right, Kevin?
Yes.
So you all should have gotten an email regarding the 1099s and when you can expect those in the next couple weeks, I believe.
Yep. So those will go out. They'll be recorded with the IRS, and you will receive a copy via email on February 3rd.
Yeah. And the reason why sometimes these don't go out as quickly is maybe if you guys are, have other, the part-time agents and work for different, different companies, and they get out really quick. A lot of times we have trailing checks and settlement statements and things that may close in February, but we don't get the documentation till a week or two into January, just on the nature of the way the deals close. So that's kind of why it lags behind a little bit, maybe more so in this business. So anyways, keep your eye out for that, and we'll continue to remind everybody when to look for those.
Yeah. So now we are going to bring our expert escrow officer, Raquel Bauer from Legacy Escrow, on the line. Let me make sure she is able to talk. All right. Good morning, Raquel. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Good morning and Happy New Year to everyone.
Thank you. Yeah, so Raquel, I think today you were going to go over the HNY form.
No, not the natural hazard. I was gonna because I'm just having a few problems with lenders. So let's just say on the purchase contract, the RPA on the signature line, if it's a LLC, a corporation, or if they're purchasing in the name of their trust. The page that the lender for the buyer always questions is, of course, the signature page, which is page 15 of the RPA. If your buyer is purchasing in any of those LLC, corporation, or in their trust, or if it's a probate and an LLC is selling it, I'll go over that. But the buyer's signature, it's always the name of the company, no matter what. The buyer's signature is going to be who is authorized to sign, which is an LLC, or on a corporation, it's either a CEO, a president, whatever their name is, because an entity can't act on its own. So that signature is going to be the person that you're actually dealing with, or that the person that is going to be actually the person that signs, going to sign it and date it. Then right below that, it shows a little box that you can check mark, and it says printed name of legally authorized signer, and then title if applicable. That's where you're going to put in that person's name. So let's just say it's Legacy Escrow. I'm the signer for it. And then I sign it, but 9 times out of 10, you can't see the signature. That's where the name's going to go in. It would be Raquel Bauer. And then the title would be authorized signer if it was an LLC, or if it's a corporation, CEO, or whatever my position is in that corporation. Or if I was buying it in the name of my trust, it would be trustee. The lender always wants us to provide, and the reason why I'm asking for this is because they're always wanting us to provide trailing documentation to see that that person is authorized to sign on behalf of that LLC, corporation, or trust. So if we can just make sure we get that buttoned down, they won't ask for that information from us. And the same with the seller. If the seller's a trust selling it, or vice versa, you just want to make sure that you guys put that person's name printed in there, and then the name of the title that they hold within that entity. That's the only thing I see problems with, and then having to come back to you guys or your TCs to get that either fixed or what. I don't know how they do it. They just say that this is the person in an addendum, because you can't really go back and fix it. So if we can get that would be great. And then the only other thing that I'm having a little situation with that I wanted to educate on the LA properties. Sad to hear what's going on over there. But if you're selling a property in LA. There is, and I'll send Kevin the link so he can send it out to everybody. There's a link that you can go in and input the house number and the street name. And when you hit go, if that property comes up in any of the color marked areas, you have to do a 9A report for that property. And I know how to do it. I'm happy to help your seller walk through it, but it's best if you guys do that at time of listing so that it doesn't hinder the closing, because sometimes it could take 30 days. Right now, they're about 20 days getting them out to us. Sometimes they get them sooner if everything's in compliance, but it's about 20 days, sometimes 30. So I have a website that will help any people that are listing properties in the LA property or LA County area. So I just wanted to kind of touch on both of those for you guys, just to kind of help you out. And I also wanted to let you guys know, just don't forget, and all the new people, don't forget about your loyalty points when you use Legacy Escrow. And then if you guys want to know how many points those that have been using me, if you can contact Kevin, there's something on our website that tells you your guys's totals. And then anybody new, if you want to know about it, give me a call, Bill call, or Kevin a call, and we'll let you know how that works.
Yeah, thank you for that, Raquel. Super important, both those points that Raquel brought up. One, the contract has changed a couple different times in the last couple of years, and they keep doing revisions. And like Raquel said, page 15, if you don't look at it closely, and you can make a mistake pretty easily on where people are supposed to sign, or like Raquel said, the authorized signer is supposed to sign. So just, take your time if you're dealing with an entity to make sure that it's filled out properly. It'll save everybody a headache. And then number two, if you are listing properties in the LA area, super important to get that report done ahead of time, because that can cause a delay in your closing, and nobody wants to get to the finish line and then realize, oh, we have this 9A report to do, and it's going to take a couple weeks to get accomplished. So thank you so much, Raquel, for that, because those are two big points that we come across and are good reminders.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. And hey, those for you that have opened, January's been a great month. So thank you very much for all your support and loyalty. And I love it. Keep them coming. You guys are off to a great start this year.
Thank you, Raquel. And like Raquel was saying, this is our corporate website. And so agents, you're able to log in by clicking here, and you'll see your agent dashboard. And on this left side, you'll see the ARG loyalty points. So click on that, and you'll see your tally. If for some reason, these are manually entered, guys. So if you see that the tally is off, just notify me, and we'll make sure to get that updated for you. So
yeah, and for the new agents too, just so you know, like we really have built a program to incentivize everybody to win and save some money. So Raquel does an amazing job. Debbie, who's going to come on here really quickly for a quick mortgage update, does an amazing job. And we like to give back to you guys when either of those services are used, and the points do translate into what we would call company dollars. And so you can buy down your flat fee next to nothing. And you can also, we will waive the file review fee when escrow is used as well. So literally you can save hundreds of dollars on each transaction. And why not work with someone like Raquel, because she's awesome.
Thank you.
Pocket. Come on. All right. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. And of course, Raquel's information is right here. I always include Raquel and Debbie's information on all webinar replays, so don't hesitate to contact them. So we're going to bring Debbie Saccone from Clearview Mortgage on the line now. All right. Good morning, Debbie. How are you today? And I know you're always positive, so give us some positive info. Come on.
Good morning, everyone. Well, I'll tell you what, December and January have been my, I don't know, my best months ever, but really darn good months coming from, a couple of years, the last couple of years, from what I've heard from people, they've been a little slow. So, I did want to just share a couple things today. The 10-year Treasury note is up. The arrow is up. And that means that for whatever reason, rates are could be going up today. We might have a revision today. So and sometimes the media doesn't portray that. They just send out messages, oh, rates went down, but they already went up so much that coming down is putting us back to where it was, whenever. But I just want to let you know a few things that are happening, that I'm seeing happening out there a lot. And that is that over the last year or two, people have accumulated a lot of debt. And that seems to be something that that people are facing right now, is that they've accumulated a lot of debt. So this causes a couple of different things, maybe they have to move and the debt is creating their score on the lower side, and or the debt to income ratio. So those are things that we have solutions for, by the way. So don't let that hinder anyone. If a potential buyer is expressing to you, I'd love to buy something bigger for my family, but our debt is killing us, or my credit score went down. We literally can help people with those things, those little dilemmas. Also, we have loans that can help bail people out of foreclosure too, just so you know. If you have a client that is really wanting to keep their home, but they ran into a little patch where they need a little help, we have loans to at least bail them out of foreclosure, maybe even build in 6 payments into the loan so that they don't have to make a payment for the next 6 months. And then they can get back on their feet and, get their mortgage back on track. So, and refinance to a better loan once they do that. There's a lot of flexibility in financing these days. It used to be a few years ago that ITIN loans required 30% down. That's somebody that does not have a social security number, just an ITIN number. So they use that to file their taxes and so forth. Now those ITIN loans are down to 15% down payment. So they've become really, really flexible. And the neat thing about ITIN loans is it does not have to be, by the way, full doc. So that ITIN person, and most of the ones that I'm seeing out there are self-employed. They might have a gardening company or a pool cleaning company, something like that. And they still don't show very much on their tax return. We can do ITIN bank statement program. It's so neat how, especially once I start hearing what your buyer's situation is, the more I know, the more I could put together a solution. So don't hesitate to give me a call if you want to try to find a solution for something. This is going to put more money in your pocket, because a lot of buyers will tell you, you know what, I didn't have very much success on the last loan officer that I talked to, so I think I'm going to have to wait. Well, maybe they just didn't talk to the right loan officer. So just keep that in mind, that as a mortgage broker with Clearview Mortgage, and also someone like myself that has 30 years experience, we know a lot. We know a lot of stuff, so we can help you, and this could inevitably, again, put more money in your pocket. So look forward to working with you guys. And so far a lot of people have called me with Alta, and I love being a part of your solution. So give me a call and have a great 2025. It's already starting out with a bang for me, and you guys too.
Thank you, Debbie, so much. And Debbie's phone number is right here. And again, I always include that on the replays for the web. So we are going to bring DJ Bibb from Fidelity on the line. Good morning, DJ. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Kevin. I'm doing great, and I just want to say thank you all for having me back. I love being here with you guys. I'm happy to be part of the ARG family and proud to support each and every one of you.
Yeah. Hey, DJ, any way you can turn your microphone up a little bit?
Ooh,
If not,
Yeah.
not too big of a deal, but it's a
good
little bit,
question.
little quieter than the rest of us. If not, no big deal. But
I'm not sure how to do that.
well, that sounds a little better right there. Maybe
Is
just,
it better if I lean in?
yep, that's perfect, buddy. And you can feel free to take control of the screen and present.
Okay, yeah. So, so we're going to do a little review of Prop 19 today. And the reason we're doing this is because because it benefits, hold on, let me share my screen real quick. Place current share. Okay. We're going to do a review of Prop 19 today because it can greatly help those impacted by the wildfires, not just in LA, but in California. And so before I get into it, I just want to say that if any of you have been impacted by the fire, you personally, your family, your friends, your loved ones, our heart goes out to you guys. And we're just trying to get as much information out there as possible to help support you guys and anybody else impacted. And hopefully we can help provide you with as much of that information so that you can do the same. We're all here to help serve, our fellow Californians. So anyhow, Prop 19 went into effect in 2021. And what it does is it gives a property tax base benefit to people that qualify. Now, if you guys remember, there was Prop 60 and 90, right, which gave it allowed people 55 years or over to downsize. If they bought a replacement property of equal or lesser value, they could take their low property tax base with them. It was a one-time thing, and it was a great benefit for those that qualified. Well, since the enactment of Prop 19 in 2021, it expanded that, right? It expanded the concept of that property tax base benefit in several ways. It expanded it to include those that are victims of wildfires or natural disasters. And it also allowed it to be used or utilized more than just one time. And it also allowed for the replacement property to be not just of equal or lesser value, but could actually be also used for properties that are more expensive. So it really made it a greater benefit in a lot of ways and expanded it to a lot more people's needs. So I will jump into kind of how it works. So if you remember, Prop 60 and 90, the replacement property had to be equal or lesser. So now under Prop 19, it can actually be, like I said, of greater value. And then it would step up incrementally. So the way that it works, right, is if you purchased a property, say for $500,000, and that's your property tax base, it allows, that obviously will increase up to 2% each year based on inflation. That's the way the tax assessor, assesses people's values. Tidbit of information, you can actually apply to have that reduced if you believe that your property has not gone up 2% or if it's gone down, so they can adjust that tax base, right? So then if you go to sell your property and you sell it for, say that property increases up to $1 million, and then you replace your replacement property is also for $1 million or less, you keep that property tax base. So it's based on 500,000 plus whatever 2% increases have happened over the length of ownership, which is shown on the tax bill as your assessed value, right? So you get to keep that. Say you sell the property for $1 million and you buy a replacement property for $1.2 million, right? they will take your assessed value, they will take your sales price of $1 million and reduce it from the $1.2 million of your replacement property. So that $200,000 difference will simply be applied to your current property tax base, right? Which is the 500,000 plus whatever 2% increases. So now maybe you're in the $700,000 range, but that will be your new assessed value. So it will only increase by the difference between your sale and your purchase, added incrementally, like I said, to your existing base value. So yeah, this great benefit can be used more than once. So if people have already used it, say they're over 55 and they've already used it, but now they've lost their home, right, in the natural disaster, they get to use it again. And if they, so that's a huge thing to to help a lot of these people that are in need up there in LA. It also goes to people of disabilities, those who have qualified disabilities, and they can take it to any county in California. So if you remember back to 1690, there was only like a handful of counties that participated, and you had to talk to your county where you're selling the property and the county to which you're moving to, and make sure they both participated, and you had to arrange for that exchange of a property tax base. But now under Prop 19, it covers all of California, and then they really kind of made it seamless to where you don't really have to qualify. You're more or less notifying the county that you're going to of your situation, and just making sure that it's included in your assessment. So
that's so important, DJ. It's such a needed proposition because, especially right now, but I think that's just a fantastic proposition that we passed.
I agree. Since 2021, it's really, we were promoting this in the last 2 years to all our agents, because it's a great way to free up, empty nesters and get them to move and downsize and kind of stimulate market activity. And that was really what we were looking at it for. But, now that, LA is going through what it's going through, we're really taking notice of the other values, of this proposition, and helping all of those in need right now. And in the last week and a half, 2 weeks since all this, we've seen our agents get a lot of calls from those from LA moving down here. So a lot of people are moving right now because of displacement, or just, people that are staying in LA that have lost their homes. It's just displacing. It's a trickle effect of displacement and people wanting to move. So we're seeing a lot of people come down here to Orange County, and this is just one way where they can, it can benefit them. It can help make that move possible, because they're not going to be penalized for this huge increase in property taxes that they can be exposed to. So
DJ, I think the last figure was something like 15,000 structures were destroyed. Does that sound right?
It does sound right. Yeah.
Many Christmas. So yeah, I mean, that's, minimum of 15,000, people that got displaced, and probably more. So,
Yeah, even those that didn't lose their structure, they may be in a neighborhood where, most of the people lost a structure, and now their entire neighborhood is destroyed, even though their home is okay. It's no place for them to live. It's no place for them to go back to.
No, not at all. So yeah, quite a few more people being displaced. So heartbreaking.
It is. And so we've been making our best efforts to reach out to those and see how we can best support them. I've put together a list of the top 500 agents in LA, real estate agents, with email addresses, because some of them might not be able to handle their business because they've lost their own homes, they have their own things, and so they may be able to refer out their clients, and get a nice referral fee. That's a way we can help them, is, hey, just send us your referrals. we'll take care of your clients, we'll take care of you. Or if they have people that want to come down and they don't know our area the way we know our area. So reaching out to them and offering, you know, our help and our services is a huge thing. So if anybody is interested in reaching out, I have that list of the top 500 agents in LA with email addresses and phone numbers. I'd be happy to send that to you. Just reach out to me and I'll send it to you on the side.
Sounds great, DJ. Well, thank you so much for coming on our Wednesday webinar. We really appreciate your time, DJ. And this is really important stuff. So agents, I hope you found this helpful, and you know, please do educate your clients on these things. That's why we do this. So you become the expert in your field, in your region, and you know, it does build trust. So make sure that your clients know this stuff, and you know, get out there, tell them. You know, sometimes it just, you know, it's a reason for a phone call and a reason to stay in touch with your client base. So DJ, I will make sure that your information is on the replay like I always do. And agents, make sure, get out there, make it a great week and a productive week. And we will see you all on the webinar next Wednesday. Bye-bye.